Roughly 25% of startups fail because they lack founder market fit. Let's look at what that is, why it matters, and how you can get it after the boot. Welcome to Feel the Boot, the science of startups. I'm your host, Lance Cottrell, and I'm here to help you navigate that nearly vertical learning curve you're going to encounter as you launch your business. I know what it's like. I've been there myself, and I have helped countless other founders along their journeys. Now, this is part of our playlist on getting started with your startup, and I'll put a link to the whole playlist up there. You can also get all of this content as both a blog, if you like to learn by reading, or as a podcast if you want to listen on the go. Again, links down in the description. Now, if you need some support from a community of other founders, I encourage you to join our community, The Crossroads. It's part of the Founder Quest program, but it's completely free. And there are a bunch of other founders working on fundraising and building their startups just like you. I encourage you to check it out. Now, we've all heard of product market fit, right? That's where you are able to reach your customers at scale. You're moving from having to push your message on customers to them pulling. When they hear about what you're doing, they're excited and want to buy it. And you're ready now to really pour gasoline on things and explode the company. However, this doesn't usually happen until you're about ready for your A round. You're already doing $1 million in revenue. So it really is a lagging indicator of success. So what matters and what can you see earlier? An indicator that shows up much earlier and investors really pay attention to is founder market fit. And it's part of the reason why pre-seed and seed stage investors pay so much attention to the founding team. Startups with founder market fit have a huge advantage in all aspects of their business, from building the right product, selling, fundraising, hiring, partnering, what have you. It always helps. So what is founder market fit? It's when the founding team has experience, insight, credibility, and access to the people in their market based on their backgrounds. They've been there and done that. It allows them to reach the right people and speak to them in their own language because they are one of them. Founders with fit have lived the problem. They were operators or power users. They understand the problems intimately. And when they describe the problems they're working on, they describe it with nuance because they understand the details. They're able to unpack all of the complexities, unlike a founder without fit who tends to be looking in from the outside. Maybe they've Googled or used AI to understand the problem, but they don't have it in their gut. They also don't know the players in the space. Founders with fit know who's who, and they know them. They can reach out. They can make calls. People will take their calls because they're part of this community already. And they can move so much faster. When you have fit, you're not trying to explore all of the potential product space. You already know what will and won't work for a majority of customers. You realize where the barriers are, what things you'll need to work around, what kind of implementation complexities you're going to run into, and you can already assume all that and go straight to refining the fine details, while people without fit are still struggling to understand even vaguely what is the right kind of product to build, and then end up building something that no one actually wants to buy because it doesn't matter, it's not a priority. When you're trying to take a realistic look at your founding team, ask yourself some questions. Do you know exactly how your customers are working around the lack of your solution right now? How are they achieving their goals despite the fact that you haven't brought your thing to market yet? Could you get on the phone with multiple ideal customers quickly? Could you be setting up multiple calls a week with them based on the Rolodex that you have right now? Could you reach out and bring in an industry rock star, someone who would hugely enhance your team, assuming the right amount of equity and so forth, if that's something you wanted to do? Would they accept it because of your credibility in the space? And if an investor randomly called a couple of people in your ideal target group, would they know who you are? If they ask them, hey, what do you think about this guy? Would they say, oh, I've seen him speak at conferences, I know him, I know his space, I'd love to take a meeting with him? Or would they be going, who is this guy and why are you even asking me about him? Really, honestly, If you were an investor looking to put together a company to do what you're trying to do, to solve the problem that you're trying to solve, would you hire you? Would you put together the team that you've got to solve this? Or would you be going and looking to bring in some more people, some more experience, some more capabilities before you were willing to commit the money to move forward? If you wouldn't bet on you, who else is going to bet on you? Before I get to talking about how to get market fit if you don't already have it, I'd like to ask you a question. Are you looking to raise capital now? Because it's important to get the timing right. If you try to raise too early, they'll just shut you down and you only get one bite at the apple. You don't want to wait too late because you need this capital to grow. I created a quiz to help you understand whether you are ready right now to start talking to investors. I'll put a link up there and down in the description. It's just a couple questions to let you know where you stand. I'd also like you to do me a favor, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It makes a huge difference to this channel and makes sure the algorithm knows this is the content you want to see going forward. Remember, Founder Market Fit is about the founding team, not necessarily every single member. Not everyone has to have deep experience with the market that you're going into, but at least some of the team needs to have this. In particular, the people who are going to be selling to your customers and the people who are going to be designing the product that you're going to be delivering. They really need to have that intimate level of understanding. But if the CEO doesn't have it or the CTO doesn't have it, that's fine as long as it exists on your team and you're listening to it. Realistically, this may mean that you need to expand your team because getting to founder market fit isn't something that you can learn in just a few weeks or months of studying. It's not going to come out of a couple of customer interviews. Not that those are not critical things to be doing, but that level of profound understanding really comes with time and living it. So that could mean finding a co-founder. So you may need to be networking to bring someone like that in. You might be looking to do a senior hire as well if you can't bring in a co-founder, if the person that you need isn't willing to completely give up on salary, for example. You might even be able to do this as a part-time gig until you get funding, as long as you have commitment that can be acceptable to investors. Hiring consultants is a little bit of an iffy process because we really want them to be part of the business. This is core to your intellectual property. So similarly with advisors. Bringing in good advisors who have deep, intimate industry knowledge is fantastic, but it's no replacement for having it in the company. At the very least, those had better be extremely hands-on advisors who are going to be in the meetings and in the, with customers and in the design meetings on an ongoing basis. The potential customers and partners that you're talking to can be a great jumping off point for the networking you need to do to find the people who can bring you to founder market fit, because they are in the industry. They know the industry. Frankly, if they had the time and interest to be starting a company right now, they would probably have founder market fit. However, they're busy doing what they're doing, but they are likely to be willing to help you out. Right? They want your product to exist either because they want to buy it or because they want to be a conduit for you to sell it, or they want to provide you services. They are likely to be happy to make introductions for you. So take them up on that. Ask them for connections to people who might be good candidates to join your team. But even more importantly, ask them to connect you to other people in the network, particularly those super connectors, the people who seem to know absolutely everyone. Those people have been invaluable to me over the course of my career. It's how I found my co-founder back in the day, from someone totally unexpected, but someone who knew everyone in the space that I was looking at. So be asking on a regular basis. It may take you a little bit of time, but getting that person who has that founder market fit and bringing them into your team will totally transform not only how you're going to market and how your company succeeds, but also your ability to raise money, because this is something that investors are looking at very closely. Thanks for watching this episode. I hope you found it useful and interesting. And if you did, and you haven't already, please do the usual like, subscribe, and ring that bell. If you're experiencing the loneliness of being a founder, and almost all of us go through that, I encourage you to go over to the Crossroads and join my community of founders, where lots of other founders are going through exactly the same struggles that you are. There's a lot of great experience being shared there. If you've got some time, I encourage you to check out this other video on selling your solution before you build it. It really dovetails in with a lot of the founder market fit that we've talked about here and will accelerate and risk reduce your journey to success. And until next time, ciao.